My actual least favorite thing that ever happens is I'll have that song, the hit song, like queued up, ready to go. It's in my next deck, and someone will come request it. And then I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck. Now, if I play this, it looks like I'm playing their request. They're going to come back. Like, they were fucking annoying, but now they're going to think that we have like this bond because I played their song. You know, I'm like, fuck, They just fucked this whole thing up. I had this whole plan. And just by you coming up and requesting it, you fucked it up.
Not only that, then they're gonna see the reaction, right? Because you just picked a winner. It's like picking a winning lotto ticket. Like, it's not that fucking,
Yeah.
Once they're gonna look out at the crowd and they're gonna see the crowd jumping, right? And they're gonna be like, yeah, and it's gonna validate thinking that they're even more of a DJ.
Yeah. And then
you're just like, just get out of here.
Well, all right. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a liar, I can smell it on you. Got the voice down packed, but your eyes are telling on you. Shame on you for stretching your mouth around shit that your heart
What's
knows
up, champ? Arizona's open, huh? As of like 3 hours ago.
A couple hours ago, bro. So we'll see what's up. I mean, we already know what Scottsdale's about to do, but we'll see what everybody else is doing. But
you're in Tucson?
Tucson, yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Tucson.
Nice,
but they're going wild anyway. They've been going wild.
Yeah, I think Arizona was what, like you could do anything except for dancing. Now they just
dancing, having fun, walking in a straight line, talking to girls, you know, all that. Yeah, you can do anything. So
can't do shit. And even it's fucked up because even in Texas, now that it's 100%, there's still like people just being fucking weirdos.
There's gonna still be your masked people, right? And then your non-masked people.
Yeah,
like that's never gonna go away.
Ever.
No. So now it's like we got another reason to hate each other, right? Like anywhere you go, it's gonna be like, oh, you're one of those, right? Whichever side you pick.
I would be lying if I said I didn't want to punch the people in the face that had 2 masks on.
2 masks, and then what about riding solo in the car?
Yeah,
with 2 masks.
Yeah,
I mean now we're just taking it like we share the same road with each other. You know?
Yeah, it's shocking how much you realize like how retarded like we're just animals. We're all just animals, and most of us are.
We're not even good at it.
Yeah, most of us are missing a few chromosomes. I think
quite a few, and
I think Joe Rogan put it the best. He said he was like, I just feel like my family, my lineage, like had sex with apes a little bit more recently than most others. You know what I mean? He was like, somewhere along the line when we were evolving, someone was like, I'm gonna go fuck that ape real quick. You guys could go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys could keep moving it on. Yeah. It's dude, I mean, it's shit, right? I mean,
it's wild.
I just came from, I mean, they got websites for this stuff, the people at Walmart and just all that kind of stuff where, man, let me tell you, it's terrible. So
it's a good time.
We just came from the mall just to grab some shirts that we got to get some merch made out of. And, I mean, dude, it was, everybody was stimulating. Let me tell you that we were out here stimulating today. So that place was packed. Everybody's got the new cologne, you see everybody walking through the mall with the little sticker with the smellies, because they got some new. You're just like, man, get me out of here. I got to go.
Yeah. And it was Tuesday. I went to the mall on Saturday. Big mistake. Oh, that was the worst mistake of my life, dude.
But you know what is by the time you get there is when you really realize that you just went to the mall on Saturday. Yeah, like you don't really think like, on a Monday, you'd be like, oh, I'll never go to the mall on the weekend. That's silly, right? That's stupid. And then you'll find yourself there on Saturday. And the second you can't find a parking spot, you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah. And then you're trapped in the lot. The traffic's insane. It's just, oh my God, it was ridiculous.
Nobody's got anywhere to be, like even if you're just trying to get a quick, whatever it may be, right? One little shirt for the night or whatever, right? No, it's going to take 30 minutes. you got to get behind somebody. Somebody's EBT card isn't going to work at the counter, so now you're waiting another 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that Saturday mall run could turn into be the whole day.
Yeah,
You know?
it gets wild. But last time I saw you, we weren't in a good situation.
An apocalypse.
It was pretty rough out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to say I understand what it feels like to like starve a little bit. You know, like when we were driving around looking for food and we literally could not find a single place that was open with food.
But we're talking like normal food.
Yeah.
You know, like we couldn't even get a pack of Twinkies if we wanted it, like
Yeah.
just to survive, you know?
Yeah. And not that we needed it. It had been like 7 hours since we ate, but just like that feeling, it was like nothing I've ever felt before. It was weird.
It was probably the closest to being, you know, I don't know, Armageddon or whatever you want to call it. I Am Legend. Like
Yeah.
it was people, the gas stations, I don't even think were pumping gas. I think they just said, you know what, everybody's on their own.
And we left the strip club late at night and came home to no power, no water. There couldn't be a worse situation.
Like ever. Like the
There
only
couldn't
thing
be a worse situation.
the only thing that saved it is you just said, you know, we just left the strip club, so they toughed it out, God bless them. And then, you know, if they just shut our phones off, like let's just say some dumbass hit like the tower that powers all our phones, right?
Slid into it off the ice.
And now we literally have nothing. Like we couldn't even know how to get anywhere. Like even if they were like, oh, the gas station over on 64th has food and water, nobody would know how to get there because their phone would be off. You know,
it was
like we'd be printing out directions.
That was wild. And it just like, and then it just ended and it was just like over. Nothing happened, never to be spoken of again. It's just done.
And our dumbasses, we paid to go there.
Yeah.
We were like, apocalypse. Let's get a ticket. Let's go.
You ended up having to rent a car and drive back to AZ, right?
16 hours. Yeah.
Oof.
Yep. So, you know, everybody was going to risk it, right? Go up to Dallas Fort Worth. Oh, they can get us out. We'll be able to get out. And then it was saying that, you know, it was 7-8 hours to get there just in the snow. And I'm like, normally it's like 4, right? So
yeah,
I was like, dude, I'd rather go 7 hours west than even try this, you know, at all.
Closer to AZ. That was definitely the move, bro. I should have hopped in the car. It was weird because
we would have still been there.
Even though everyone knew it was going to end like in 3 days, like even after you guys were home and it was still whatever, like you couldn't get water because they had the boil water notice. You knew that it was going to end on Monday once the weather cleared up, like everything was going back to normal, but the grocery stores were still cleared out, bro. Like no one was going to eat for the next 6 weeks.
And it's always interesting what people pick, right? Like when COVID first started, you know, it was kind of like, oh man, you know, it was a little like hysteria, right? Like people are starting to go to the stores, they're starting to pick stuff up. And obviously, you know, the toilet paper was a thing, but you're just starting to see like the food options, you know, like, you know, most of the people get whatever it would be, non-perishable stuff, rice, you know, bread, like Oreos gone, you know, donuts gone, cookies gone. Like,
yeah,
that's what we're going to survive on. We're just keeping it going.
Yeah, we're up against something that it kills fat people. And have you seen that now? If you get your vaccine, you can get a free Krispy Kreme donut every single day in 2021. Yeah. It's like literally you'll be fine. You could get COVID 17 times in a row as long as you're not too fat. But let the incentive be Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yeah, I've always said, you know, Walmart should have a little center in their store that for a $10 coupon, if you get a vasectomy, you'll get a $10 coupon. And I think that'll just start solving a lot of problems.
Yo, that would really, I think that would really sew up some things, some major issues.
The double mask people, they would no longer exist.
Yeah.
You know, that wouldn't happen. There'd probably be a lot that wouldn't happen, but you know.
That's hilarious, actually.
Mm-hmm. What are you drinking on? What do you got?
I got a little coffee. I'm a little hurting after last night, bro. We went out.
Went hard, huh?
We went a little semi-hard. I'm getting back. Like now that things are 100% and I'm ready to hustle again. I'm ready to get out there, fucking shake some dicks. You know what I mean? Meet some people,
Yep.
get some gigs. I think we got to take over Houston a little bit while we're here.
I mean, from the looks of it, it looks like you guys are on the right track. You know,
Bro.
you guys are in a different spot every night.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's definitely
Yeah,
a
you
good
get
time.
used to it.
Yeah, it's settling in a little bit more, but now that it's like just the fact that it's 100% and the club feels normal again. Like that's my fucking home, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice.
It was always weird when it didn't feel right. Now that it feels right, it's like settling. I'm like, okay, that's good. Things are getting back.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that's like our office, right? At the end of the day, you know, people sit in an office in a cubicle, and some people can do it, and I don't knock it. I just can't do it. So when you bring those people to our world, they're like, man, how do you guys? I couldn't deal with this week. I'm like, you know what? I'm as calm as it gets right now. This is my world, you know. Like, put me in that cubicle, and I'm gonna start bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, you need a little bit of chaos. You need a couple girls to be babysitting. You have to iron out some drama. It just keeps you alive a little bit, huh?
And the funny part is it's always in a section of the venue, right? Like if you go over to this section of the venue, well, this is what you're going to be dealing with. It's like different countries, right? Like these are the problems over here. These are the problems over here. So like wherever you just kind of just need some different stuff, right? Like over here by, you know, the DJ, you're going to have some people with some tears, but then you're going to have some people losing their mind because they're next to the DJ, right?
Yeah.
And then you go in the back corner and somebody's crying by the bathrooms because little Johnny broke her heart, you know, and you're just like, man, where do I need to be right now? So you pick your areas in the spot based off of the kind of crap you got to deal with.
Yeah. It takes there's some balance for sure. Because like nightclubs are a little bit of a dark place, just like nightlife in general. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of people going into a nightclub to escape the real world because they don't know how to handle it. So it just like generally makes it a little bit darker of a place. I've been working in strip clubs. Those places are dark. Bro, it's like everything like nightclub behind the scenes type shit on steroids. You know what I mean? It's dark.
God bless them, man. Anybody that's managing that shit, like,
bro,
it is. You're a therapist. You're not even a manager. You're straight up therapist. Like, just talking people off the ledge all day.
Yeah, and you're working with the people that work in strip clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dark.
Yeah. They're great people. They're great people from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's just after that, you got to be in the mood for it, you know?
Yeah. I didn't know.
But you're in the Mecca. One of the Meccas.
A lot of strip clubs. Of strip clubs. It's going to be a tough balancing act. It's going to be I'm going to have to learn some new things.
I mean, I would imagine. I mean, you've been out there for what, 4 or 5 months now?
Yeah, I think it's almost 6 months. It's been since September.
So you got. I mean, that's a lot of time to learn a lot. You know, I mean, we work quick. You know, we find all those spots real quick.
Yeah,
make friends real quick.
Yeah,
it's cool, man. I like it out there.
It's definitely, the vibe is getting better now that Corona's clearing up. You get to see real world a little bit. It's coming together. And there's definitely money to be made, bro. Everyone out here just wants to party. This is like, it's hard. Like I always try and figure out, like, I'm like, is this Houston, like what I'm seeing, or is this a product of the whole last year, everything that has just been flipped upside down, or is it a product of like me being different and now looking at things, you know what I mean? Because like Houston to me seems like it's all based around the flex, the flash, your chains and your cars and like all that shit. Like that was always a thing, but here it seems like it's way more. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's Houston or is it like an after Corona thing? Like, you know, the bigger your chain is, the stronger you are coming out of Corona, you know, like, and like, dude, it's crazy. They're all.
Well, I think there's a baller checklist, right? I mean, every city's got the little baller checklist, whatever whatever that may be to look like a baller. But I think Houston always got down. And I think, right now, I mean, coming off a year of just sitting in the house, right? Like everybody's ready to go. And some people have been making mad bank this whole time too. So now, now they got a place to spend it.
Yeah.
So,
To show it off.
Yeah, not everything closed, so those hustlers, if you're a true hustler, you probably found a way to keep it going. And now you want to go floss and, show it all off. But, Houston's what, the third largest now, or I think it goes back and forth, but I think they're over Chicago now.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm excited. Like I'm glad Arizona's coming back. Like I'm going to go out to Arizona because I want to see the difference, How's Arizona compared to how it used to be?
I mean, it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be like roaring 20s, man. You had prohibition, nobody could drink, all this underground bootlegging stuff. And now all of a sudden you got the green light to just do what you do. I mean, Arizona's already been, it's already a place that everybody wants to visit, right? So yeah. I think in the summer, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like in the summer, because typically the summer, obviously it's hot, desert, all that. People really kind of don't plan their vacation around it. But I think this year, it's, they're going to find a reason to come out here and just, let's get it, They're
going to have to shut it down like Miami.
Well, you know what? I mean, Spirit, having $49 flights over there during spring break, they should have bumped that up to about 500 and you wouldn't have had that problem. But no, it didn't help. But California, I mean, we'll see how long they stay closed, but Arizona gets all the Cali people, all the LA, San Diego, like, I just want Vegas to open. That's what I want.
You feel like it's a like for you being somebody that's opening places, right? Does this feel like a better opportunity than what it would have been? Because it's like a whole reset. Like only the strong will survive, right? Like only some places lasted. Most of them got wiped out, and now anything new is like new and refreshing.
I think people that probably I should say people that took going out for granted are probably not going to stay in anymore. The quote unquote boring group of your friends, or like people that just kind of passed up on a lot of stuff. I think they'll be out. So you're going to get a lot more customers than you normally get. I think you'll start to find that there's going to be a lot more like regulars kind of thing. And, I think for people opening stuff up, if you were able to pause during Corona, great. Because I think we all know a lot of places, not just bars and restaurants, that opened up right when it started.
Yeah.
And then had to go that whole year. Oh, dude. I mean, I feel bad for those people, but some made it out. And then I think the world, people are gonna, they're gonna pay it back tenfold, because they're sick of sitting in these houses, man. They're sick of being told they can't have 20 friends over and stuff like that.
Yeah. What's it gonna take? Like what's gonna make the masses, everybody agree that okay, we could go out? Like for the president to be like, all right, it's over, everyone 100% capacity. You know what I mean? Because like, there's still, even with the people that are more scared or whatever it is, don't want to go out yet, here, it's still been an insane increase on the amount of people that are coming out.
Yeah,
I still feel like there's a lot of people waiting as well. So it's only going to get more.
I think there's a bunch of people waiting. I think people have different variables, right? Like, people have kids, people might be taking care of their parents, that kind of stuff, where it's like, all right, I could be bringing this home and getting in some trouble with that. But the people that just kind of been just waiting for the okay to go, I think that they're out. And if you don't really want to, if you're that scared, you could stay home. You could double mask at home. You could wrap your house in plastic. Nobody's telling you can't do none of that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like those that are going out, they're willing to risk, like whatever it may be coming from it. But we can't sit in the house no more. A full year of being grounded, like we couldn't even do a weekend when we were a kid. You're talking about a full year as an adult.
Yeah. And me and Dolo were also talking about like everything's so awkward now, at like if you're at Target and someone's like in the aisle shopping for shampoo over here and you're trying to get past them to get to the deodorant, you're like, do I scoot by them? Like, are they going to get mad if I get too close? It's just like this, the most awkward thing. And the nightclub is the only place that it feels normal because everyone's drunk. And once they're drunk
and they're all there under the same, they're there on the same mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm here, so I'm in a spot where I'm cool that you come talk to me. Like Target, like you said, you don't know, right? Regular restaurants, you don't know where people stand. A nightclub, strip club, straight bar, where those people stand. They don't give a shit. Like, and if they do give a shit, they don't give a shit right then and there. So have at it,
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're back. I need
nice.
that.
Yeah. It's
I need
nice.
that,
It's
man.
the only because it's weird, bro. There's just this awkward, and everyone's got their mask on, so you can't hear them, and it's a mumble, and then it's like what, and you can't read their facial expression. I like try and make jokes with cashiers, and like I say something stupid, but you can't see my smile, so they just look at me like I'm retarded,
like you're a dumbass. Yeah. You know what I like to see this whole time though is the evolution of the fashion of the mask. Yeah. Like, when we first got it, it was like, all right, just hand me whatever, right? Like you just walk around with a sock over your face, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, this is a real thing. We can go places. Then all of a sudden the Gucci started coming out, the Louis started coming out, right? All leather, looking like Bane, right? And then you got people coming out with the full-blown Under Armour mask, ventilator, like comes with like a little side fan on the back, and it just wraps your whole head.
Yeah.
And then you just have people making stuff at home, right? Like people would just literally have like a handkerchief or like a piece of Kleenex, right? And they'd put 2 little pieces of string on it, and just, everybody just had their own version of what was going to stop this virus, right? We're just like, all right, science, right? Science.
It's fucking insane.
It's been crazy.
It's insane.
But I'm glad it's over.
The fuck, like you can't, when you think about that, like just the fact that people are so dumb that they just listen. Like someone says something and it's like, okay, sure. Why not? I'll just put 2 masks on. I'll sit on this airplane with 2 masks on for fucking 4 hours, not being able to breathe. But
right.
If the guy next to you wants to eat some peanuts, he could take his off and then it'll be fine.
And peanuts, it's like, whatever he needs.
Nobody's questioning that. And then you think about that and you're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here? It's like,
what are we doing? Like, how many times in your head are you just like, what are we doing right now? You know what I mean? Because like any logical person, right? Which you take that for granted, but there's really not that many. But most of the time, logical people tend to hang out with logical people. So like when you're with your group, you're just like, are we really like doing this right now? Like we're I mean, I swear I was thinking like if they said, hey, look, take a plastic bag, put it over your head and tie it tight, and coronavirus won't affect you after about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
People would be like, oh, sweet. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we were talking about don't drink the sanitizer.
Yeah.
Like natural selection.
Don't inject yourself with bleach.
Like we got to tell people that, you know what I mean? Like we got to really
the problem is our president told them to do it at first.
But people did it. Like our president had a sense of humor, like, and people were like, yo, the president said to do it. So we do it. But it's like, yo, let him do it. I mean, if that's the route you want to go, I mean, come on.
I'm all for it. Like
for sharing
the stupidity at some point, if your stupidity causes death, that is not a death that's going to affect me. Like when people walk in the middle of the street and don't have regard, like when their mindset is like, well, it's the pedestrians right away. Like if I get hit, it's their fault. So I'm just going to walk. And then like they die. It's like, you deserve to die.
Yeah, you're a dumbass.
That's what it is.
Well, wouldn't you like? I mean, if there's an object bigger than you, first off, right? You get out of the way, right? Think of sports, right? The smallest football player is always trying to dodge the biggest football player. Okay, if there's a car going 80 miles an hour, and you're about to just walk in the middle of the road and think that thing is just gonna chill, or like you just own the road at that point because your foot touched it.
Yeah.
Like you're just living by like. I don't know. Like
it's not reality,
life, right?
It's not reality. It's not so like people live in their own head. It gets fucked up.
And they think everybody else cares. Like we all know nobody gives a shit, right? Like nobody, like if you got hit by a car, like, okay, it's unfortunate, but like nobody's like, oh, let's redo like how we go about walking in the middle of the street and how we drive. Like let's make all cars go 20 miles an hour max, right? No. they come out with another car that can go 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, so it's like,
Yeah, could
nothing's
kill people
changing.
even faster.
Even faster. We could kill you faster.
We
You
could
touch that street,
we
kill
could
you
clean up the
faster.
gene pool even faster with these
Even
cars.
faster. I mean, yeah, it's like you're out there on your own, man. Once you leave the house, my thing has always been people's house rules. Like before, it would be like, you see people out in their pajamas, right? You'd be like, oh, like, what are these people doing out in their pajamas? That's for home, right? And now everybody wears their pajamas to the club. But before that, it was like everybody's taking their house rules and they think that they translate into the regular world. Like you can't just, however you live at home, you can't bring that out here. Like there's a common courtesy, but nobody even knows what common courtesy is anymore, right? So you're just living with everybody's house rules all in one spot, which is why you see all these brawls and all this other shit. Because
everyone, because like the fucked up thing is that in their heads, that is the reality, because it's like what they believe in is reaffirmed by the people that they're talking to on the internet because they met them in a chat room about the same shit that they're concerned about. And then their computer hears them talking about it and serves them fucking ads about it. So they're like, this must be right. I'm meeting other people that believe it. I'm seeing these ads that are about it. My Facebook statuses, everything that goes against what I believe, everyone's attacking them. Like, it's all just reaffirmed in this shitty world that is not reality. It's not outside. It's on the fucking internet as we talk to each other on screens. It's wild out here.
That's a good point. Yeah, dude. It almost creates that own little world, that own little bubble, right? Of just information that you just want to hear and see. Not anything that goes against it, not anything that goes against your opinion. It's just your opinion is always right? No matter where you look, no matter what you read, no matter who you talk to, well, you're always right. So now you just have all these people out there thinking everything they're doing is right. And you're just like, maybe to a point. But then there's other things where it's like you said, the pedestrian should always, it's like people on bicycles, right? Like they're always mad that they get hit. And it's like, well, you're probably riding in the middle of the street. We always know that guy that gets in the turn lane, right? And he's out in the middle, like a normal car. And it's like, why would you put yourself in that position?
Yes.
Like just go ride your bike on the sidewalk, because nobody walks on the sidewalk.
Eat the ticket. If you get a ticket for some reason, if that happens, I've never seen it happen in my entire life. But if you get a ticket, just eat it and say, thank God that you still have your life and you were able to ride on the sidewalk.
And I never understood why at least bike traffic and pedestrian traffic didn't go the opposite way of traffic. You don't want to see the car that's about to hit you. Like maybe you could move. Like you're just going to get hit from behind, like just a straight whiplash right from the behind. Like if I'm riding a bike, I'm on the other side of the street because I'm paying attention to see if this person's swerving, if this person's on their phone. Like maybe I could dump off into the grass before this dude hits me. You're just driving with traffic. I mean, these people aren't paying attention anymore on their phone. Like look at everybody in the car next to you. They always got their head down. Every single one of them. Freeway, everywhere. What
is it about the car? What is it about the car that just makes you want to clean out your emails? Like you're in the car and like it's like this free time when you're really busy, like you're going from one thing that you had to do to the next thing that you had to do. And when you're in the car, there's like some sense of free time. So you're like, I'm going to do this, like just little fucking shit. Oh, let me text this guy real quick. It's like, there's always something that could be done. It's fucked up.
It's like being in an elevator, right? I'm part of the generation that I can stand in an elevator without being occupied for 30 seconds, right? Anybody else behind me, younger than me, getting into an elevator, like they don't know what to do with their hands. They got to like get on the phone. I even look to see what they look at. Half the time they're just looking at their home screen.
Just the home screen.
They don't even pick nothing to look at. You're just like, damn, that's where we're at. Like people just can't not have the screen in their face to just stand for 10 seconds. You know what I mean? And it's like, we don't got to talk. We're all in this elevator together. Like everybody's just looking at the ceiling and stuff, but they can't do it.
It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. And the social aspects are just getting more and more uncomfortable with this, everything that's going on, everything that's wrong. If you look at somebody this way, you're fucking getting canceled. It's wrong. If you do this, like it's all bringing us further from where we should be, which is
closer. The worst part is for me is like the way you text. like, look, I love comedy, right? You love comedy. Like,
Yeah.
comedy is part of, like, it's almost like music, right? For certain people, it helps with your mood. It helps. Everybody has anxiety. Everybody has their own stuff, right? So, like, comedy is one way to people deal with it. So it's like, we all care about comedy. You can't type or joke anything because there's no, like, delivery in a text. So 10 years down the road, you're this big hot shot. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, here's this text from 10 years ago. And it's like, yeah, but I don't live my life that way. Like, it might have been a joke, but it's like, they don't take what your whole character has been throughout your life. They take that word and now they just pin it to you and they're just like, you're this, right? And it's
100%.
like, you don't even know me.
That's why in about 10 years, once you're really super successful, someone's going to clip this podcast right here and you're going to get canceled. But it's fine because you got a good 10 years.
I'm fine with that because I'm trying to be retired. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, dude, you got to care. You got to be careful with everything you say, and like, even to just like all the homies. And it's like, at the end of the day, as long as you're cool with me and you're not doing anything to like mess my life up in a bad way, I like everybody, and if we don't even agree on something, that doesn't mean I don't like you. We have different ideas. That's cool.
That could make it even better. Like, did you watch the Patrice O'Neal documentary?
No.
Speaking of comedy, it's fire. Your boy Bill Burr made it. It's like his company.
Okay.
It's dope. But there was this part where you know who Nate Bargatze is? Bargatze, that he was talking about hanging out with Patrice back in the day, and I guess he was like super Christian, raised like really religious, and Patrice would like make fun of him and shit. And he was like, "So you don't believe in dinosaurs then?" Because like whatever. And he's like, I used to, I'd play into it. I'd tell him I didn't believe in dinosaurs, and we'd like argue about it and whatnot, blah blah blah. So then I guess Patrice was like having a party, a barbecue or something. And someone was like, yo, can I invite Nate? Like, I know you don't really get along with him or whatever. And he was like, yeah, of course you can invite him. He's like, first of all, I get along with him. He's like, second of all, that guy doesn't believe in dinosaurs. I want that motherfucker at my house.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about it anyway. Like, if we have the same opinion, there's nothing to like talk shit about,
Exactly.
Have fun, this and that, learn, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I love talking to weirdos, people that are just fucking wild. That's how it like, that makes me feel better about myself. I feel like I'm a weirdo though. You talk to someone who's like really crazy and you're like, all right, this guy's fucking insane. We're good over here.
We call that Friday and Saturday night in my business. Yeah. It's like, you're always talking to somebody that's off the wall, but it's great because you know what? They may say 99% of the stuff that you might not relate to, but they might say one thing that kind of like opens up your little Pandora's box in a scenario that you're always thinking about. And you're like, you know what? I never thought of it that way. Like, in my opinion, everything is all about perception, like the way you say things, the way you do things. Like, I can relate to something out of pretty much everybody's lifestyle. It's just whether I just gear my whole lifestyle around that, or if I'm just like, look, I understand where you're coming from. I don't fuck with it, but I understand where you're coming from, but that's not for me. Right. So
yeah.
But
I think that's what makes you really successful in our industry too, because you're around so many people. And if you're not a fucking idiot loser who's just, single-minded and like, what I believe in is what I believe in, you can actually talk to people and relate to them and build networks and like all that shit. Like, that's a huge part of being in nightlife, I think.
Yeah, one of the best parts about being in nightlife, like, if you're smart about it and you don't have the pretentiousness to think, when you're a bouncer, right? Like the door guy bouncer, and this is probably even more years ago, but they always just like held themselves to a certain standard to where the customer probably thought it was intimidating to the customer. Like, it was uninviting, right? You were embarrassed if you were going to get denied because you got a line full of people looking at you. Like, there's ways around it where it was like, people had that anxiety. Well, if you curb that and welcome people in, most times, the people that you're meeting, whatever you may have heard about them or whatever you thought of them, it's not it. You know what I mean? Like, the nightclub is a show, right? It's a full blown lie. Like, everything's a lie. You got people trying to ball out. You got people trying to act like there's somebody, right? Everybody knows somebody. So whatever, right? But if you can really let them connect with you, half the time it's been more surprising for a positive in a positive aspect than it's been in a negative aspect. It's like, oh, I didn't know you did this or you do that. And like now you start to meet the real person, but they come at you because they got to throw all the big stuff at you, right? Oh, dude, I do this, I do that, because they think that's validation in your world. And really, I'm like, I prefer the most normal people. Like,
yeah, it is. It's like
normal.
a currency. It's like a nightlife currency. Like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that, I got this, I got that. And like those people fucking, that's like how they talk to each other. But if you're a normal person and like a real dude, then yeah, you can take that, but you can you're like, all right, cool. But like, what's really good? Like no one really gives a shit about that.
I'm at work, like people forget that. Like people just think like, oh, take this shot or come hang out or come drink with me. It's like, dude, I'm at work, dude. Like, and not only am I at work, it's like we're running the show. Like I can't just dip off in the back and do some dumb shit,
Yeah. They forget it. That's for Sundays only.
That's why you work the morning shift.
Yeah.
Get that afternoon to yourself. Yeah, it's I love the nightclub industry. I mean, obviously I've stuck with it, and I've met some super cool people on all levels. Like I actually like how crazy my network is. I got guys that are they've never even not worn a collared shirt, right? And then I got guys that have never even put a collared shirt on. And I got dudes that don't even get up before the sun goes down, like they're up at 5 o'clock at night and then they stay out till 10 in the morning, and that's their life. Like I could pick whichever thing I'm feeling that day. I got a crew that's willing to do it. We're going to a game, cool. We're going to a game. We're going to a club, we're going to a club. We're doing something at 2 in the morning, cool. You want to just go to Vegas tomorrow? Yep, there's a crew for that. So like the 20 years I've been doing it, I've met 10 of everybody.
Yeah.
But and then those groups all know each other because they're like-minded. So really, you kind of just always have this crew of just whatever you're feeling that day.
Yeah, you could pick how much of a scumbag you want to be. You know exactly who to hit up. You're like, I'm feeling scummy today. I'm gonna see what strategy's doing tonight.
Those Monday, Tuesdays. Well, I know you like your Mondays to rejuvenate.
Yeah, Mondays got
those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays in the club world. For anybody working in the industry, I mean, it's nothing that a solid day at a dive bar with some good people can't solve, man. That dive bar is like a therapy. Like,
yes,
dude,
bro.
It has solved so many problems.
I want to go to Butch McGuire's when I get back home.
Yeah, dude, Butch McGuire's. Well, if even Pepper Canister's out, but
is that place done?
Dude, just a good done. Yeah.
Oh man,
so,
bro,
I can't imagine it won't be another bar though. Yeah, that whole block. Well, I heard somebody took over our spot on Wells, a restaurant. That's somebody was telling me the other day. So
I hope that they fucking pull the same move. I hope that they're like, yeah, we're gonna put a nice restaurant here, and then they just fucking shit on everyone.
Dude, that place could be an orphanage, and the neighbors would complain that the babies were crying too loud.
Yeah,
that's it. Doesn't matter what goes in there. It's the people that are around.
I mean, how could if you are in that business in restaurant, nightlife business, you obviously know the whole issue with all the neighbors with that place. Why would you ever put a place there? The least, like they had to have got the rent down or something, right? Like
my thing is this is they don't know. Like
you think they don't
probably
know?
think they can fix it. I think they know to a certain point, but I think they also think they could fix it, right? They're probably going to look at the concepts and go, oh, but we're not like that. Like we're like this. Yeah. And it's like, okay, no problem. But no matter whether you're loud or not loud, how do you keep some idiot that may not even have been in your joint? They're just cruising from Franklin over to Hubbard to go from bar to bar, that just pops off in the alley and starts pissing. Like, you can't stop that dude. And that don't matter. You could have 2 people in your restaurant and one of them could be that dude, and when you have a whole network of residents that are just studying that. I mean, think about somebody just watching your every move, bro. Your every move. They're just waiting for you to slip up.
So
bad. It's like, and it's never anything that you did, right? It's something that's some random where it's like, yo, we don't want these people here either. Like, if you're going to come here and pee on people's resident doors, like, please don't come here. Like, we could say that out loud.
Yeah.
But these residents got their mind made up.
Yeah, it was mayhem. I remember when that shit all first started happening, most other places in the city were like, yeah, hell yeah, like fuck them, like that's our competition, like let them, hopefully they close, we'll make more money. But I remember at Stout, the guy was like, nah, bro, that's a bad look. He's like, if the neighbors can get a place shut down, that's a really bad look for our entire industry. He's like, I fucking hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think. I mean, if people knew the real story, when they say neighbors, you could almost take the S off of the neighbors and just call it
one
neighbor.
guy.
Yeah, it wasn't, dude. Half the people live there came here. The guy that owned the whole building across the street, he would come in. He would hold his lunch meetings there. So the story that was portrayed, like anything these days, the story that's portrayed and the real story are two different things. And
Yeah.
and that's why the ability to stay open as long as we were was capable, because when you looked at it on paper, they're like, we didn't get any violations for nothing. We didn't get tickets for anything. Like if we got a ticket, it was because they wanted to make something up for the most part. Like, we prided ourselves in running a good business. And the one thing that really set us all off is all the management team and everybody that worked there, whether they lived there their whole life or not, came back from where they went to because they were all from Chicago.
Yeah.
So like we were all from there. It's not like we were just some random crew out of Florida or something that was like, oh, we're gonna take over Chicago. It was like, no, we all had aspirations to come back to where we were and say, hey, look, we're doing a place in the big city we grew up in. And it's like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
But most they just wanted to say, and I think once they figured that out, they were kind of like, oh, we're kind of dogging our own here. But
yeah,
there's bigger powers in the room at that point. But we had a good 4.5-year run. It was,
bro, the best, the fucking
great,
best,
right?
bro.
And I'm hoping that it kind of changes the way like Chicago got down. Like you're always going to have your underground spy bars, right? You're always going to have your house music, which we should never get rid of, right? I love all that stuff. I think what we brought was granted, Sunday Funday was probably, Chicago's always been a drinking town. We didn't change any of that.
Yeah.
But it was finally all right to kind of get after it Saturday style in the middle of the day on a Sunday, right? It was cool to watch sports with some loud music, right? It was cool to have some weird stuff go on all day. Because like you said, you can go back, you come to our fantasy world and you escape your real world, but you could still be in bed by 6, ready for work next day,
Yeah.
So it was dope, man. It was a good run.
Sundays were fucking legendary. Yeah. Bro.
And I think it was always cool for us, even though we were from there. Every bar that opens always hires like the leftovers of everywhere else, right? Like it's always just kind of whatever. We kind of brought our own story, and I think any bar, not just what we were doing, but any bar bringing their own story to a town is the smartest thing you can do, because you already know the crazy chick that keys cars, right? You already know the bartender that works 1 month and quits, right? You already know the manager that can't keep a job at any other spot, right? So like you already know that. So if you put them all in a room, you're kind of like, this place sucks, because
you already know it's the rejects. It's all the rejects that got together and fucking they're back at the new.
Yeah, it's trash. So
hold on, maybe you know the answer to this. Why is nightlife, and I don't know that anywhere other than nightlife isn't like this, because I don't really know any other industry, but there's always those managers that get fired every time, but they get rehired at the newest spot. It's like, what is the logic? This guy has been fired 17 times, but now you got him opening up your new venue because he's the only person available, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, how is that?
Man. It's a numbers game.
Insane. That's insane. The amount of times I've seen people go from venue to venue to venue and fail miserably each time is like,
I know. And to eventually get the job back that they left the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let's just say 2 years goes by and they've ran into all the stores, right? There's nobody else that can hire them. Well, then there's new management at the first place they left, and they're like kind of somehow convince them that they're better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being in operations my whole life, an interview is basically just a lie detector test.
Yeah.
An interview ain't shit. An interview is just somebody straight lying to you. Like, how are you going to figure out the bullshit here, right?
Yeah.
Because then why are you looking for a job? If you're so great, why are you looking for a job? You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, you got this whole resume. You've worked at fucking everywhere in the world. Nowhere was good enough. They didn't listen to your ideas. They would have succeeded if they didn't. Meanwhile, you're jobless, but they're making $3 million a year.
And they got a guy just like you came up right behind you. Like it's
crazy,
dude, the industry. Bro. I would love to teach a course one day. You know, it's crazy.
It gives me so much hope. Like that's always my fallback, you know, like you do when you have those doubts about yourself or your career or whatever, and you're like, shit, like what's going to happen? Like what happens if I lose my job tomorrow? Like what happens if I can't DJ anywhere in 3 months or something? You know, you always think about that, trying to come up with a plan. I'm like, look at Jesse Seeley. This man is still out here working. Like that gives me hope. I'm like, Jesse's out here working. I don't think I'll ever have trouble finding a job.
I mean, there's definitely personalities that are just not, you could just never do without them, right? Like they keep it going, like no matter what it may be. And it's like a lot of people like to see the story, you know. I mean, we all have, I mean, we'll put it this way, you know, Stu, when Stu goes out, you want to see how wasted you could get Stu, because he's not going to say no, right?
Yeah.
And then every action he does is going to be captured on film, because every one of his homies is just got their phones on him all night. Yeah. So then you just see you wake up the next day, you just see Stu's life throughout the night,
playing out like, after every shot.
Yeah, it's great. And look, I mean, I used to be that way, you know, back in the day, but you know, camera phones wasn't really a thing, or you only got about 10 seconds of video coverage.
Yeah, you're not a big put it on video guy. You come from the pre-camera phone era.
Pre-camera phone era, and you know, I'm not above any of it. You know, I like to have my fun, as we all know, but it's like, if I wanted people to know about it, I would have invited them.
Right.
I don't need them there. Like, we got our own little crew. Let's just do what we do.
No, that makes sense.
But it's
no, I always say that, honestly, but Jesse is, if he wasn't a good DJ, he would not work. Like he fucks everything up all the time, every time. I think he's getting better, but he is such a good DJ that's what keeps him working. Like
he's a great DJ.
He's fucking DJ. Good, bro. He's,
you know, I mean, good. And you could tell he works on it. And you know, out of everything that I've met every personality on the planet in my years working. And you know, drunk people are the most like unpredictable, right? You can have people that are on drugs. You can have all these types of people in your venue, and you can kind of know what direction they're going to go. Drunk people are like super unpredictable, and you know, alcohol affects people differently. Like I get super happy. You see me. I mean, shit, I'll stay out all night. I'll jump on everything. Like I have a blast. Half the time I meet a trillion people that I wake up to, and I'm like, good meeting you last night. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever, you know, and especially in Chicago. Together. Yeah. Well, Chicago was what? An extra 4 or 5 hours. That's the nice thing about Scottsdale, was like 2:00, shut it down. And like after parties happen, but not like Chicago, man. After parties in Chicago is like a whole nother club.
Yeah. And, you know? and after parties are more normal. I feel like there, you know, like anywhere else I've been, you have like the after party people, and it's just those people that always after party that are going to the after party. Back home, it feels like everyone goes to the after party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to tell half the people to just chill out. And
yeah, you have to keep people away.
Yeah, like, hey, you know, you doing afters tonight? No, not tonight. But then they find out through a friend, like, oh, where you at? Oh, we're over here at afters. And it's like, dude, it's the whole upper side of Electric Hotel, right? That whole upstairs bar is just now in somebody's home.
Yes, dude.
You know, it's like, what are we doing? You know, and nobody has any sort of logic in them either. It's just somebody shows up with a case of vodka somehow, you know, that they got from somewhere. And it's just like, everybody's just got all their shit. And you're like, we got enough shit here to go until tomorrow if we want to.
Yeah. And then you just roll it right into a Cubs game, and you just fucking, after that, you're back at the club that you started out at the night before.
Same clothes.
Yeah. Same clothes.
Yeah, same clothes but the thing was is like it was you didn't feel guilty, right? Like probably other cities you'd be like, oh man, I at least got to get out of these clothes or let me buy a shirt or like, brush my teeth, right? Half
Yeah.
these people like they don't even feel the shame. They're just like, oh, you're still up from last night? Yep. Well, all right. I mean, that's like New Year's, right? I mean,
Yeah.
dude, New Year's morning, bro, is there a better party than New Year's morning when it was cracking?
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit, bro. People party. It was like New Year's Eve was the pregame. People are more excited about the New Year's Day party, the aftermath of New Year's Eve.
Dude, I mean, even the God-free industry party.
Yo,
I mean, tell me that party.
I feel
That was
like
one of the best.
we need to see that. Like they need to do that again just to give us a little bit of normalcy back into our life. Like going to that party will make me feel like, all right, things are back. Things didn't get too messed up. We still here doing this. Like I feel like I need that. That was a ridiculous
weird
party.
in my life.
Yeah.
I need some weird stuff in my life.
I
Like
mean,
I need to
Dolo woke up after that one year he came to, he says he remembers like realizing what was happening at a bus stop on Grand in Milwaukee. Just by himself.
It's amazing how alive. It's amazing how alive we still are with situations like that. Like, because you didn't. However, you got to that bus stop, you didn't get there. You didn't get there looking like you were all right.
Yeah,
you got there like I could take this man's every dollar.
Yeah.
I could take his shoes. If I just blow on this dude, he's gonna fall over.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So like everybody thinks they're doing it. Until like if you did take your night, the night, whatever you would remember, if you took that night and wrote it down on paper the next day and just said, hey, read this to me.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the hell did I do, man? Holy shit.
That was my favorite part about being sober all the time. I didn't start drinking till I was 25. I used to go out with my boys all the time and they would just be wrecked, blacked out, just ridiculous. And then the next day I'd be able to tell them exactly what happened, everything. I was sober.
They probably didn't even want to hear it.
They most of the time didn't want to hear it, but it was hilarious. Like it's hilarious. That shit is hilarious, bro. The things that people do when they're wasted, amazing.
It's the best.
Amazing.
No, I love it. I love it because you know what? I learned a long time ago that I am what I am. So that don't even come at me with the anxiety. That's what I would just tell myself is like, people would be like, oh man, do you remember last night? They'd be like, probably not, but I really don't give a shit. Like I know exactly the type of person I am in that night.
Yeah,
but I'm
you had fun. You weren't out to do something fucked up. Like some people get drunk and do weird shit. Yeah, they do fucked up shit, whatever. Like fucking get drunk and kick over garbage cans for no reason. But you're going out and you're going to fucking have a good time.
All I know is I was a rock star. So if we want to go over how badass my night was, then we could talk about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, people always want to try to bring it up to you like you should be embarrassed about it. It's like, I wouldn't have left the house if I was going to be embarrassed. Now, are there times where I got to a point that I was like, all right, like that might have been pushing the envelope just a little bit, but it was 8 a.m. The audience really isn't there at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So
also I hate when people get defensive when you like mention that they're drunk. Like when you're out, someone's out and like, oh shit, all right, you had a couple shots, let's go. I'm not drunk. I'm like, what do you mean? You're out drinking. If you're not drunk, you're doing it wrong.
And what are you doing here?
Congratulations, you've made it to where you tried to get to. Take it, have some fucking fun. What are you upset about that? You know what I mean? Like that's
there's always
weird
the ones that are trying to prove to you that they don't even get drunk. And it's like, dude, you drank a whole bottle of whatever it is we're drinking. It's like, you got to be some type of drunk. You might not be throwing up, but people all the next day would be like, you could be like, hey man, like, how you feeling today? They're like, what's up? Like, I didn't get drunk last night. I wasn't that drunk last night. And it's like, dude, you had your shirt off, trying to take your pants off, doing somersaults on a packed club floor. Like, yeah, but I remember all that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. And that's what you chose to do? That's what you chose to do. Like, you know, I don't know. People just bullshit all day long. It's great.
They're wild, bro. All right, so normally I like to try and bring up like something that pisses you off, because there's always those little things. It's like those little things that are kind of hilarious. You're like, why am I upset? Like those Larry David moment type things, you know. I always write them down. So the last thing I had was this girl that works at one of the clubs I work at is like trying to get me to play this fucking stupid Brazilian EDM song, because she's telling me like, oh my God, it's so amazing. I heard this song, and you know, the artist fucking Jocko Lala Lips was playing it in Ibiza while the sun was setting, and I had just taken my Molly, and like, it's the most incredible thing, and like, I want to bring that here. And I'm like, yo, look around. The sun is not setting. This guy who was here last night is still here in the same fucking hat that he got from the thrift store drinking his beer. Like, this is not beautiful. Nobody hears on Molly. This song fucking sucks. Like, you're not going to recreate that moment because I'm playing the song that you think did that for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, you know, everybody always thinks they're a DJ, right? I mean, everybody. It doesn't matter what caliber of person you are. You could be a complete corporate nerd, or you could be like the most popular kid on the planet. You think you're a DJ, and whatever you would pick would set the place on fire, right? And you also think you could do it continuously for 2 to 6 hours. Like, you could just constantly keep this energy going, right? Like, they don't understand the thought process.
Yeah.
But they're always trying to try it out on you. Like, oh, let's throw this song out there real quick, because they can't command this type of audience. Like, if you said, hey, here's the aux chord, like, you knock it out, you'd probably be booed off within like, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying the person would be booed off probably within the first 20 seconds. That's why you don't see jukeboxes in clubs no more.
I mean, I would feel more comfortable giving them an aux chord and getting off the stage and letting them stand there and play the song. So when it goes wrongly, people are looking at them. You know, that's my only thing. I'll ruin the energy in any room for the right amount of money. I don't give a fuck. You give me $100 to play your song, I'll play it. I'll take that. They could look at me. I'm proud of that. But for some fucking shitty memory of your fucking Croatian beach trip that you want to relive, I'm like, yo, shit is crazy.
Level of annoying that they could reach, right? Like, because I don't DJ at all. And I'll just be standing in the DJ booth, and they'll be thinking like I'm dude's manager, whatever. And they're like, hey, can you play this? Can you play this? And I know it's annoying to them, so I'll just filter the bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know, oh, can you play this? And it's like, and honestly, half the time, as you probably already know, it's a song that you've probably already played, or you know is going to be in the rotation, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's the hottest song.
Drake 0 to 100, right?
Yeah.
Like any Drake song that's hot and new is going to be played in the club, and it's probably going to be played in the club at least 3 times. So like, just wait your turn. Like, just because you want it on now.
My actual least favorite thing that ever happens is I'll have that song, the hit song, like queued up, ready to go. It's in my next deck, and someone will come request it. And then I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck. Now, if I play this, it looks like I'm playing their request. They're going to come back. Like, they were fucking annoying, but now they're going to think that we have like this bond because I played their song. You know, I'm like, fuck, they just fucked this whole thing up. I had this whole plan. And just by you coming up and requesting it, you fucked it up.
Not only that, then they're going to see the reaction, right? Because you just picked a winner. It's like picking a winning lotto ticket. Like, it's not that fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Once people, they're going to look out at the crowd, and they're going to see the crowd jumping, right? And they're going to be like, yeah. And it's going to validate thinking that they're even more of a DJ.
Yeah. And then
you're just like, just get out of here.
That's probably what happened to Tiesto when he was a young boy or something. You know, he fucking made a request. It went off. He was like, I could do this. And he went on. Now he's 65. He's 65 and finally made it. He's like tall.
He's big. Yeah, he's about an inch taller than I. He's probably about 6'4", 6'5". You know,
I didn't know. He looks like short. I feel like I look at a picture of him, I feel like he'd be short.
He's a big dude, man. I met him in Scottsdale for when Super Bowl was here, and he got.
That's when Kirill was there too, right? I think
Kirill,
Hefe.
Yeah, but Yeah, but I don't think he was where I was at. I was actually working at the time. But Tiesto, I think, was playing. He was playing that night. But dude, he was a big dude. I had to walk him in, and I was like, dang, this is all right. Like I didn't expect him to be like some sort of like mini dude, but I was just kind of thrown off that he was, 6'5".
Yeah. I wouldn't expect that either. All right. So what do you got? You got something like that you can think of off of this? So I'm sure something even happened today where you were like, what the fuck? Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I woke up. Just waking up pisses me off.
You looked at your phone.
I always tell people, I was like, I try to wake up in the orange, right? Like there's that little meter that you got. It's like if you're responsible for other people's lives as far as like scheduling and managing and just whatever, the amount of bullshit that you could wake up to, and people try to get it because nobody wants a response right away because of their anxiety. So they try to get it into your inbox by like 7, 8 a.m. So you just wake up to like, oh, hey, sorry, totally forgot it was my birthday. I can't make it.
Yeah.
And it was like, how did you forget it was your birthday? Like, I mean, I think for me every day, I got rid of like on my Instagram, right? I got rid of all like the thoughty stuff and just like stuff where people are just showing their life off, like they're doing it and stuff like that. Yeah. I think for me is like, I mean, for me, nothing ever works. So what I mean by that is like technology never works. Like I could go like need my phone real quick for whatever reason, the screen doesn't want to turn on right now. Like just whenever I need stuff, like I was just downstairs to get in my parking garage and my little fob thing to open the garage has worked 900 out of 900 times. But because I need to get up here, like it just wasn't working right now. And I'm like, it's those little things that it's like kind of like goes back to your Curb Your Enthusiasm thing where I just lose my shit for a quick 30 seconds. Yeah. And then something will work. And I'm like right back down to the green. I'm not like, but I just rev right up. I pass all the yellow, all the orange. Yeah. And I'm bumping on the fucking end of the meter in the red because I just lose I'm UFC mad. Yeah. In like 2 seconds. But it's a bunch of that stuff. It's
an accumulation of the small stuff. I get
but
that.
It's just like a jab.
I get that with people and their turn signals. Like when people don't use their turn signals, I am so mad. I want to send them to have the death penalty. They need the Walmart $10 euthanization coupon.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Time to go.
It's just the easiest thing. It's right here.
It's courtesy. It's common courtesy. That's what I'm saying. It's common courtesy is no longer a thing because I don't understand. It's only about a minute and a half from this emotion to this emotion where the person in the left turn lane, let's say they don't make it on the first wave of people going, right? Like the light turn yellow, the green arrow goes, and that car, the last car in that line is now the first car for the next one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, then when that light turns green, why do they go 1 mile an hour to go? Like, you would have floored it to blow through a red light to get it, but now that you're at the front, you lost all of that anger that's at the back of the line. Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You need to keep that anger. Keep that anger because
keep that same energy.
Yeah, because you flooring it, you peeling out when that arrow comes, let's 3 more people through. Like it's a common courtesy.
Yeah.
But you're just on your phone, you don't care, you're turning like this, right?
I like that. Yeah.
And it's like you got to keep that same energy. Like it was only a minute and a half ago. Like let's stay pissed off here.
That's good. Point.
Because it's helping us back here that are punching the steering wheel.
I like that. Yeah.
They forget about it.
Yeah, you got to come with that same energy when that green arrow comes on when you're at the front of the line.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's how I run my whole life. I'm always trying to make the person behind me their life easier. Like if I got the green light, I don't even touch my phone because I'm like I'm paying attention to this green light. I got to floor it as soon as I hit this. And out here in Tucson, I still got my Illinois plates, so I'm almost in the back of my mind a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to teach these people how to do it. I'm going to teach them how we do it. Like I'm going to represent Illinois and Chicago and say, as soon as you get a green light, as soon as the other light turns yellow, I'm going. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even looking at my light. I'm ready to go. Try to teach these people.
There's a ridiculous amount of car accidents out here. Nobody can
Houston,
drive out here. And then I come to find out, which I don't even think this is true, but one of our Uber drivers, our fucking Uber driver who's driving us, who has our life in his hands, is telling us that he came to Houston from New York because you don't need a driver's license to drive Uber. I'm like, that's fantastic, bro. Thank you.
I love that people are that stupid to tell you the truth like that. But then you're just like, all right, you know what? I changed my stop. I'm going to get off right here.
Yeah, I'm just going to get out right here. I personally, and I don't co-sign drunk driving whatsoever, but I feel like I trust myself drunk behind the wheel of a car 1,000 times more than I trust an Uber driver in the city of Houston.
And I think maybe even more than just Houston. But I think, dude, these people are like, dude, you need more cars. You need more people, right? Like, so now think about the employment pool for these companies. Like, okay, you got Lyft trying to battle Uber, even though they can kind of both work for the same company. But it's like you're running out of cars. You're running out of people to drive people around. Like I read a stat the other day, 50% of people are no longer getting licenses, like 16. So they're just depending on, like, dude, car sales are going to go to shit. You're depending on somebody else to pick you up and drop you off. Not to mention all these younger people, they're so used to like an Airbnb setup where it's like you just rent it and then everything's with it, right? The cable, the towels, the kitchen stuff. You need to go somewhere, you just rent it and you're out. So like now you're just going to start getting like Uber and Lyft is going to get desperate and they're going to start going, I mean, do you have 2 legs and 2 arms?
Yeah.
I mean, all right.
I feel like
that'll work.
I feel like that's kind of where they're at right now. 2 legs and 2 arms. You could work for us.
So it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. It's not looking good. Hopefully, Elon Musk will save us and they'll have self-driving cars by then. And,
I mean, I put a lot of faith in that too. But,
I would I would get into one of those before I got into an Uber in Houston. A lot of times in my Uber, I like to meditate almost. I sit in the back. I'm like, I know I'm going out. I know it's going to be crazy. So I kind of sit and rest for a little bit, close my eyes, do some breathing. Every 17 seconds, I'm flying into the seat in front of me because these people can't drive. I can't even relax in the car.
Well, I always feel like there should be some sort of setting, right? So like they have all these other settings now, but it's like you should have like Uber quiet, right? Uber business, right? Like Uber phone call, whatever you want to call it, where you pick it where the driver knows, because I feel like there's 2 ends of the spectrum. It's either somebody that's completely wrapped in plastic now that doesn't want to say a word and is just scared of life. Yeah. And then you have the other person that's like, they're not wearing a mask. They don't care. They want to talk about everything on your way there. And that's us as guys. Could you imagine like a hot chick in an Uber solo and you got some dude in there? Like, these dudes, as we all know, it's always a numbers game, right? So these dudes are always just thinking, well, what's the difference of, I already know it's going to be no, but if I try, what's the difference, right? Like it could go my way. Yeah. So they bother the shit out of these girls and these girls are just trying to like go somewhere. So what if the girl can just be like, Uber, shut the fuck up and just pick it and just like, we're just going to go to our spot and let's just chill out, like Uber, don't hit on me. Yeah. Yeah. That the bitch be gone. This is us as guys. We have our, you and I have our experiences and we could have stories for days with Uber. Just imagine a hot chick going out for the night and she's all done up and all this stuff. And you get this dude where it's like, yeah. That's why they're so bitchy. That's why they're so bitchy. When you go to talk to them, they're having flashbacks of their Uber driver trying to hit on them. They're like, just get away from me. Well, think about it. I mean, everywhere they go, they're offered dick. I mean, let's be real. I want to like feel for them. I want to say that's terrible. But just imagine if it was flipped around. Like, what if you walked outside right now and 3 girls just tried to sit on your face? I wouldn't be mad about it. I feel like that would be something I would be into. So I have a hard time relating to these women about how tough it must be. Yeah, but think about everywhere you go, those 3 women are always there. Grocery store, fucking hair salon, right? You get in your car. God forbid you even open your trunk, right? All of a sudden they think you need help putting in your solo cups into your trunk, right? They think you need help with everything. It's like, look, girls have no problem asking for what they need, right? Like if they had a flat tire, they would go ahead and they would bust out all the moves that they know would get them whatever it is they needed to move on, right?
Yeah.
They know how to put it out there. So if they're not saying, hey, look, I need, if they're not putting that out there, they don't need that much help. It's dudes don't know how to pick up signals. They just see single girl by herself. I got to shoot my shot. And it's like, no, you don't. You can just leave them alone.
Speaking of signals, I feel like I'm at Lifetime over here in Houston now. Sauna and steam room is open. We're fucking back 100% back on my regimen. I'm feeling good. But I've been working out on this like new set of like machine things with like pulleys, cables, like got this shit. I don't know. It's cool. But there's always that same machine that's right in front of me, and it's the one where the girls get on and they have their asses hiked up and they're fucking spreading their legs out. And every time a girl gets on there when I'm working out, I'm like, does she want me to see this, or is she just getting her workout in? You know what I mean? I'm like, should I like,
guy in the world has that feeling.
Should I smile at her? Does she want me to like, should I be staring at her butt cheeks? Because she came over here like right after she saw me come over here. You know,
the stuff that girls wear to the gym, right? It's almost like I get it. You deserve your own space. You're at the gym, like, and I'm a big believer of like, just go to the gym to work out. Like, it's not a meeting spot. Like, if you guys share the same community, you might run into each other at a same spot somewhere else. That would be your moment if you wanted to approach somebody.
Yeah, and then you can be like, I've seen you at the gym or whatever.
Yes, but it's like the gym is like, even for the guys, like the guys are all just trying to be meatheads. Everything is calculated, right? Every move is calculated. Every spin is calculated. And you just look like such an idiot. And then any girl that falls for that, you're just like, yo, this is disgusting.
Yeah,
because
it's hard to watch. You're like, well, these animals,
so sad.
These fucking animals.
Like, you're falling for this guy, and even though you could probably after a year go, man, I was stupid when I was younger. Da, 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 da. It's like, yeah, but I actually saw how stupid you were, and it was like,
yeah. So
we all do stupid shit.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But that's what I thought. That's why I think the price tier, right? Like Lifetime Fitness ain't cheap, all things considering. Like, it's not cheap. And if you're living that life and you're like, oh, I want my shakes, I want my sauna, I'm there every day, I'm there for 2 hours. You can justify the cost, right? But if you're more of a Planet Fitness, $10 a month, like, I might go today, I might not go today. Like, you're paying for the type of people you're going to be around. That's what you're paying for. You're not
100%.
paying for all the amenities.
I mean, I remember I went into the Planet Fitness that had just opened by my crib back home right after I got my crib, right after I moved in there. Brand new Planet Fitness opens up. Bro, they had a barber in there who was on like a work release program from jail, cutting people's hair in the Planet Fitness. I was like, this is the place to be.
Yeah, this is it, man. Let me try it out on your head. Yeah, it's well, Planet Fitness is genius. I love Planet Fitness only for the fact that everybody wants to run around with a gym tag saying that, like, they go to the gym.
Uh-oh, hold on. We got a Wi-Fi.
Affordable. I don't mind paying for it to save conversation. Yeah.
Yo, you're Oh, there you go. You're back.
No,
Can you see me?
I lost you too. Huh? You got me though?
I got you. Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, for a second you were frozen and your audio was lagging. Something's still fucked up. I can hear it
you got me now or no?
Yeah. It's a little bit.
I don't know. I'm seeing you normal. Can you see me?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think we're good.
Uh-oh.
I hope we're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I was saying people at the gym. It's just life. What is it? Planet Fitness.
Planet, yeah.
Everybody just wants to say they got a gym tag, right? Oh yeah. I hit the gym. Yeah, I work out, because you don't want to be left out of that conversation, because you'll pay $10 a month to not sound lazy, right?
Yeah.
So like, even if you don't ever go, $120 a year to just not feel like an idiot in a conversation when people are talking about the gym. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you got your little key fob tag thing, flash it. You drop your
But if it
keys
says
on
East
accident.
Bank, like if you got the East Bank, people are like, oh, this dude, all right, this person's getting it. But even East Bank is like, you got Gucci workout clothes, you got everybody wearing Balenciaga, and you're just like, I'm right in the middle of all that. Like, I go to the gym to work out. And honestly, I pick my gyms, whatever's the closest to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go in and out. Got to have a steam room.
No, I definitely like to feel rich. I like to pretend like I'm rich when I'm at the gym, like just a little taste. If I feel like it's a little taste, spend a couple hours there. It's nice. You can get a shake, hit the sauna, steam room, see some nice titties. You see the good implants at the expensive gyms.
You do. But let me tell you this. So at East Bank, I went there for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
I got to know, at what age do you put your shirt on before your pants and underwear?
I did that today, actually.
You had your shirt on, so you had no underwear, no pants.
Well, okay, so I had the towel still. I had the towel on, and then I threw my shirt on, and then I took the towel off to throw my underwear on. And it's weird that you even say that, because I noticed it today. I was like, that's weird. Like, I had my shirt on before my pants. That's something you do as a kid, I feel like.
Or a 60-year-old man wanting to go talk to somebody, because I think once they put their shirt on, like, they feel they're fully dressed.
Yeah.
And then they go and have full-blown conversations with people like in a hallway, but their whole shit's hanging out, and you're just like, and then there's the other guy. It's like, most guys would be like, all right, hey Larry, good to see you, man. I gotta go. Have a great day, right? But they engage the conversation, and they almost add to the conversation. So it's almost like this isn't even abnormal to you. Like, you're okay with this?
I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. Well, I want to be
Jewish, so you will be.
I want to be 75. I want to be in the gym off of fresh steam, and I want to just put my fucking polo on and go talk to people and see how uncomfortable I can make them. And just see if they stare at and then if they do look at my dick for like a second, I want to say something about it. I want to mention it.
I mean, it's going to be an awkward conversation. But the point is, like, so here's the lobby, right? Here's the lobby, and then here's the entrance into the locker room. The second you cross over here, why is it just like a free-for-all?
It's
like, why are we no longer strangers? Like, everybody's just supposed to understand. I've seen two guys. I saw a younger guy and an older guy. Younger guy, butt naked, walking down the hallway, right? Okay. Older guy out in the restroom or shower area. But the younger guy cut the corner hard. He cut it hard. They bumped into each other. Butt
Dicks
naked.
out?
Dicks out. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever laughed. Bro, I went to a knee. I laughed so hard.
In front of him?
Oh, right there. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, that's the worst shit ever. And I'm like, if you work in a restaurant, first off, you already know you never hug a corner.
Yeah.
Going in and coming out, right?
Yeah.
So like,
you got to yell corner.
Not that has anything to do with it. But I think we need to implement yelling corner in locker rooms.
Yeah.
If you can't see around the corner, because there's too much naked.
Get one of those parking garage mirrors, those round joints,
That guy, depending on how you take a scenario like that mentally, but you always know in the back of your mind, like, that story is never going to be erased. Like, until you reach the point of being okay to be naked like that in a locker room as that guy. So once that 33-year-old male became 65 and he's putting his shirt on first and walking around with his dick out, like, until that day, you have to live 30 years knowing that you went chest to chest with another man in your gym and went dick to dick. You know what I mean?
That's hilarious. Were they laughing?
No. They were not. Well, you know, old people just keep it moving, right? Old people just think it's like a part of their day. But like the younger guy was just kind of like, you know, let's apologize, and he couldn't get out of that scenario fast enough.
He's in therapy right now, 100%. He's traumatized,
dude. It is.
He can't take a corner.
But this
again.
goes to this, and I'm very progressive. I'm so fine with everything that's going on in life. I really don't give a shit. Be what you want to be. I do feel that there should be a butt naked side to a locker room, and then like a semi-naked side. And all I mean by that is the semi-naked side is you're only naked in front of your locker. Like you're there to put your pants on, your clothes on. These people over here are the ones that are got their foot up on the ledge,
it's like a nudist
while they're
colony.
talking to you.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the blow dryer under the taint,
you know,
balls. Under the taint, just like, dude, who ever even thought of that? Like,
sometimes
the towel wasn't good enough.
Sometimes I feel like a bitch because I don't want to get that naked. You know, like I don't want to walk around butt naked, but then sometimes I'm like, I feel like I should be. Like I feel like a pussy because I'm not. You know,
so you're about to cross over.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to make my way to the other side.
Yeah, you're about to cross over here pretty soon.
I'm like, why? It's just like uncomfortable feelings make me want to do it so it doesn't feel uncomfortable anymore. You know what I mean? Like I just want to get rid of the uncomfort. I feel like I got to dive all the way in.
The common courtesy. It goes back to common courtesy. The reason you're putting pants on is because you're a naked stranger in a room where you're allowed to be naked. Like put your pants on and let's continue this conversation. There's no reason why we have to have this conversation with just a shirt on.
I will say though that this new Lifetime, there's a hot tub in the, like right outside the doors of the sauna and steam room is a hot tub. So it's in the locker room. It's only for men, which is a weird, it's a weird concept for me. I'm not like if I'm getting in the hot tub, I'm trying to get some pussy. Like there's no benefit of a hot tub other than potential pussy. I'm not getting in there with a bunch of strangers, but the dudes that go in there butt naked, they are like, I feel like they're claiming their territory a little bit, you know?
It's like dick stew. I don't sit around and dick stew. You know what I mean? Like, dude, these guys' nuts are already hitting their fucking knees, and now they want them to float to the top. And it's like, yo, if I ever told anybody, like, think of any scenario in your life where it was like, yo, yeah, so I was in this hot tub talking to this guy the other day, this naked guy, and if you just kind of like spit that out, people would be like, yo, wait, what? You were in a hot tub with a naked dude? Like,
yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, like, I've gone to the Korean bathhouse back home in Niles, King Spa. It's a humbling experience. Let me tell you that. There's a lot of naked guys sitting in fucking tubs with each other.
The level of comfort that people have. Like how about just let's ask, you know, hey, do you mind if I, you know, pull out my dick and balls and sit in this tub with you? Like, no, I would prefer that you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, wear the towel. There's a guy that was in a non, this is in North Scottsdale, in a non male only spot, right? But he came out in his towel only and got in the jacuzzi in his towel only, but there's a pool, there's other people, and he just sits in this thing, and I'm like, you're in general public right now. Like, you're not just amongst dudes. Like,
I love that. I live for that shit. I want to see that, all of it. I want to be there when that happens.
But let me ask you this too. Tell me, and this has to happen to everybody, and I'm not the first one to say it. There could be 6 people in the gym. No matter what locker you pick, there's always a dude right next to you. No matter what.
Every time.
But why? I mean, is this like Murphy's Law type of shit? Like, what is?
You just get. It's one of those things you accept. You just and when it doesn't happen, you feel blessed. Like you buy a lottery ticket on that day. If you get to the gym,
the most annoying shit ever. You can go to the gym at 3 a.m. Nobody in there, right? You don't even see the guy that has the locker next to you in the entire gym. You go, you're like, oh, all right, I'm gonna go get my shit. You open it, you turn down, guys like, they always stand right on you, right?
He's like, I'm right here.
Hey, I'm right here. And it's like, yo, you can't give me fucking 2 minutes. Like, I'll be out of here in 2 minutes. So then you get all your shit out, right?
Yeah, you're trying to hurry up.
You just move your whole pile of shit over to this other little area so you could just finish getting ready. And it was like, yo, like, where did you come from?
Every time. I mean? Every single time, bro. That's how it goes down. every time. That's fucking hilarious. But let me ask you this, because this was a thought I had in the shower the other day at the gym. I wanted to make a scene a little bit in the shower. I wanted to make a scene and be like, yo, like, why do you keep like peeking in here and looking at my dick? You know, I wanted to like yell that out so that other people thought that there was a dude in there looking at people's dicks in the shower, and they would kind of be weirded, you know, like they're back at the lockers and they're looking like, is it that guy? You know what I mean? Like that guy looks at me in the sauna. Is that guy in the fucking showers, like looking through the cracks to see the dicks? I always kind of wanted to do that. I think I'm going to do it one day. Like if I get drunk on accident on a Saturday, because they give you alcohol at the gym now, I'm going to do it and see what happens.
I always thought it was great that they added a bar on your way out. It was like, awesome. But the other side is like, you know, that there's like everybody's got their own, like, I don't know how to put this, but like, I don't know. They just a dick licker. Like if you say, "Hey, why are you looking at my dick?" They're gonna think you're full of shit, right? But if you were to be like, "Hey, man, what are you doing in the same shower as me?"
Hey, I'm in this one right now.
That's going to carry a lot of weight than just like, hey, man, why are you looking at my dick? Because everybody's got their own little like sideways look of if they're trying to do that kind of shit, right? Like, I don't think people are that forward with it. So like, it was just like, hey, man,
that creep me
showers
out,
taken.
Dude.
Showers taken. Showers taken, man. Showers taken.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to leave? I'll get in the other one. You could fine. Take this one, bro. You can have it. You took it over.
I would like to see them just throw a tandem shower in there just to see what happens.
It's nothing good. It would need nothing good. It would smell.
Just put another spigot. Just put another spigot up here, but a little spigot right there. Let people see what happens. A couple shower heads.
Yeah, it would be bad in the male locker room. There'd be a lot of gay sex for sure, 100%. I mean that to me as a man. If that was in a locker room where women were as well, if this was a unisex locker room, to me, I would say they want us to have sex in here. There's two heads so that we can both, you know, it's a double thing. They want us to be in here together and have sex. So if there's two gay dudes, I feel like they would feel the same way. It would be looked at as an invite.
I mean, they're fucking on airplanes. People are fucking on airplanes. Like, which I think just happened on my latest airplane ride. I think my latest flight, something weird went down in the bathroom.
I would get a little. Was it like a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, or was it like a?
I mean, I don't know. They were in the same row, you know, hanging out. She was kind of all over them, and I was like, man, this is a lot of PDA for just like a flight. You know what I mean? Like these two are really kind of like going at it, and then you would kind of constantly see their heads kind of like look behind them, you know, what kind of clearance do we have here? And then when I really realized it was there was a couple behind them. And when the girl of that couple, when they got up, went like, she started looking around. I was like, if she's onto the same shit I'm thinking, I'm like, this is what's going on. Because she probably heard them talking some stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, they're doing it. And this is when the seatbelt sign was on. So they were really breaking the law. Like they were like, "Hey."
Did you go in after? And I would have went in and kind of like seeing if you could smell it out if it went down.
Well, unfortunately, again, the seatbelt sign was on.
Oh,
but I did think about it. But no, the seatbelt sign was on, and they were both a little bit larger of people.
You could there was really something to smell then.
There was probably some musk in there, but let's be real. I mean, a bathroom in an airplane is not.
Those are small.
Yeah. So I was already like, even if they did make it in there both together, I don't know what position they would have been able to go with.
It was probably like one of those things like, let's just do it so we say we could. So he like barely wiggled the tip in and then it was over. You know, like they didn't really even smash. It was like we
I mean, he would have had to pull his Dockers to the side. I mean, he was one of those guys. But I did make a comment to myself saying like, man, this is really a lot of like kissy face stuff for an airplane. Like, you know, that's one thing to like cuddle with your, you know, with your person type thing. But then it's just like, man, she's all over him. To the point where I was like, man, this guy has to hate this chick. Like that's how much she was in his face. I was like, there's no way this guy likes this.
Did they have their masks on for that? It was PDA with the masks?
No.
What airline is this that they don't make you wear a mask? Because I got yelled at relentlessly at Southwest.
Well, no, they make you wear a mask. It was just she was, this was an overnight flight. So no, it was American. But I'm like, whatever. She was doing her thing. But they were two big people. So I was just like, there's no way. And they came back pretty quick because I think the airplane attendant, stewardess, whatever you want to call them these days, flight attendant was like, the sign is on. Y'all need to go back. But
yeah, we know what you're doing in here, you fat sexual beings.
But I kind of like I was thinking to myself, I was like, kind of like good for them. Like somebody because that takes a lot of like, I wouldn't say planning. It's more spontaneous, right? Like, let's just go for it. But the fact that two people made that decision and still went for it, I was like, wow, that's pretty.
In the middle of a pandemic.
I'm like, that's a pretty solid move for these two. So I was kind of rooting them on, really.
Yeah.
But he came back real quick. So I was like, man, that either didn't really do the job or,
Yeah. See, I think they just did it for the gram. They did it for most people. That's where we're at. They just do it for the gram, just enough to get it for the gram. And that's it.
That's it.
Let me borrow your car for 35 seconds. I'm just going to take a quick picture. You can have it back when I'm done. But I want people to think it's mine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, I think that's everybody.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. I got to get some food, but this was fire. We need to do this again for sure.
Yeah. Let's do it again, man.
100%.
I like this stuff, man.
Yeah. It's a good time.
The comedy will only get better.
Next time something happens when that you think would be funny or whatever, just put it in your notes. That's what I do. I have a bunch of notes, even funny shit, just anything. Usually when I'm fucking high and then something pops into my head, I just throw it in here because I'm like, I'll remember it, and then I never ever do. Yeah. And sometimes when I go back and read these, I'm like, I should delete that because if someone sees that, I'll probably get in trouble. So
well, that's what I'm saying. I gotta hide behind comedy because my brain goes into the worst spots ever, bro. I got nothing but jokes.
But that's the best. That's the best. People need to relate to that. I love that, bro. Do you watch comedy podcasts at all?
Mm-hmm.
Which ones do you watch?
Well, I mean, I listen to Bill Burr all the time. Even Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan. He gets on some stuff. But then I follow like Jerry Seinfeld with Comedians in Cars. I watch what's his name? Mancuso or whatever his name. I'm gonna say it wrong, but he's the Chicago dude.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian
Maniscalco, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. I still watch old clips of Seinfeld. South Park from time to time. Like, dude, if I could be a comedian, I would be a comedian, man. I would love to do that.
I'm gonna send you this Tim Dillon show episode because I think you'd like Tim Dillon a lot, bro. He's just ruthless, makes a joke. I mean, this guy was making jokes. You remember that video where the dude came out and killed his neighbors, shot the lady in the fucking head in the street? Like the day after that, he was talking about it, and like he, of course, it's a terrible thing, blah blah blah. But then he gets into like the humor. Comedy of There's humor in anything. I don't care. All of it. I don't care how fucking ridiculous. Like if my mom dies, I'm gonna make a joke about it at some point. You know what I mean? Like it's just
something that our brain is going to take. Yeah. That is going to be fucking funny.
And he's dark. He's dark, and it's fucking incredible.
I like it. I'm the same way, but I just can't do it because I got to keep a job. But I work for myself now, so
yeah.
So we're good.
We'll ease into it. All right, but thank you, bro. And I'm gonna hit you. We'll get back, and I'll make some clips and shit. I'll send them to you.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, bro. Enjoy it later.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too, man. Thank you.